It is very disappointing to see Dustin the Diamond Poirier make the same mistakes going up against Charles Oliveira, which he had made in his fight with Khabib Nurmagomedov and most grapplers in general. This big mistake is the fact that even though against Charles Oliveira, in the first round he came forward, he pressed Charles up against the fence, he was the aggressor, he backed Charles up, he was even able to drop him. However, as soon as the second and third round came around, immediately you saw him revert back to his nature, which is being a passive outside fighter who likes to wait and see and find his openings, and then and only then come forward and try and connect with the big shots. It's pretty unfortunate because of this. The fact that this type of a game plan works tremendously against most strikers who are offensively minded. On the flip side of this behavior and type of fighting, it is just the fact that grapplers, when you're backing up, they are able to pin you up against the fence, they are able to tie you up, they are able to bring you down to the mat, and they are able to get you to fight in a fight which will suit them. That is what we saw against Charles Oliveira. How does Dustin Poirier go from coming forward, utilize his great power punching, round punches, and really at the end of the first round as well, drop him? How do you go from that to all of a sudden backing up? Now, in my opinion, there is a little bit more than just Dustin Poirier opting out and, being a little bit more defensively minded going into the second and third round. I believe that all of the knees that Charles Oliveira landed in that fight really helped take away the mobility, the stamina, the conditioning, everything, and it kind of really calmed down Dustin Poirier. And Dustin Poirier, already being a calm fighter, he just went back to his nature, and his nature is just something that is really befitting of an offensive minded grappler. And at some point the grappler is going to keep on persevering, keep on digging, keep on going, and at some point he's going to find an opening and he's just going to wrap himself around you, and he's going to sink in a submission. That is what we saw, and that is pretty disappointing after all of these years that Dustin Poirier has spent, where he could look back at his fight with the best grappler this division has ever seen against Khabib Nurmagomedov, and he comes out and he looks good in the first round, and then he just reverts back to what he did against Khabib, which just was, in my opinion, a very lackluster and disappointing performance. You train all your life just to get completely squashed and manhandled, and you didn't really even show a big fire in that fight. You would expect him to not make the same mistakes. He committed a little bit in the beginning, but it's just unfortunate the way that he just immediately gave up on the game plan. Very, very unfortunate. However, the fighter who persevered, the fighter who stuck with the original game plan, was the fighter who ultimately in the end got his hands raised and walked away as a champion in Charles Oliveira. Charles Oliveira, his head movement, his ability to evade shots and really be safe from shots is not the best. He was a very open target, especially when he's coming forward. You could have seen Dustin Poirier landing beautiful counters here and there. However, if you're not knocking him out, then you being backed up the entire time isn't helping much either. It's just a matter of time before you get submitted, and that was exactly what happened. If Dustin Poirier was a little bit more offensively minded, a little bit more, tuned into going in there and knocking out Charles Oliveira, maybe he could have done it. Michael Chandler almost did it. However, being that aggressive, being that, come forward is just something that Dustin is not. It's just not in his nature, Conor McGregor is somebody who is like that, who just comes forward, bulldozes you, tries to take you out right away. If McGregor cannot get you out of there right away, then he is a sinking ship. On the contrary, a fighter like Dustin Poirier starts off slow and then he gets better against those types of fighters. Against strikers, he has his way. Against grapplers, not so much. Justin Gaethje, he perhaps could also implement a style, a fighting game plan where he is offensively minded as well, and perhaps he can stun, hurt, and maybe even knock out Charles Oliveira, but Gaethje is not that fast, so it's going to be pretty hard. In my opinion, if there was a guy to immediately take away and take out Charles Oliveira by knockout, it is a quick, explosive, come forward, fast twitch muscle fiber fighter. Somebody like Michael Chandler. We saw in their fight that he just comes forward, very explosive, very powerful. He can take you out. Conor McGregor, if he comes forward, he's a southpaw. He can mix up his left high kick, teep kicks. He can set up Charles Oliveira. He can put him up against the fence, and he can make him a little bit anxious, a little bit timid, make him commit to mistakes. His head movement is not there, so he can place in many left straights down the pipe that could hurt him. If he cannot take out Charles Oliveira in the first round, then at some point Charles is going to wrap himself around Conor and submit him as well. That's just the type of fighter that Charles is. He's very durable, he's very smart, he's very persistent. He doesn't get discouraged. He's very persistent. That is why he is a champion right now, and that is why he has my respect completely. However, leave in the comment section down below what you thought of Dustin Poirier's performance in this matchup. Who do you think he will fight next? As for Charles Oliveira, I am wishing him very much so good luck going up against Justin Gaethje. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave in the comment section down below what you thought of this matchup. And as always, I have been Keenan from Keenan KTV, signing off. Later.